Montgomery, the county.
Okay. Y'all ready? It is 6:00 p.m. July the 7th. I hereby call the City of Montgomery Planning and Zoning Commission to order. We will start off with pledges of allegiance. United States flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay. Next item will be citizens' comments, and see no one in the crowd. Did anybody write anything in, or? Nope. Okay. Next we'll go on to consent agenda. All consent agenda items are considered to be routine by the Planning and Zoning Commission and will be enacted upon by a single motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless the commission member requests the item to be removed and considered separately. So item number 4 is consideration of possible action on the Planning and Zoning meeting minutes of June 2nd, 2026.
I was absent, but after watching the video and reviewing the minutes, I'll make a motion that we approve the planning and zoning minutes of June 2nd, 2026 as presented.
I second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second for the approval of the Planning and Zoning Commission minutes of June 2nd. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion passes. All in favor. Let's see. Next, we will go on to the regular agenda. All items on the regular agenda are for discussion and or action. Number 5 is consideration and possible action by the Planning and Zoning Commission on the replat for the Cornerstone Community Church development number 2510.
Good evening, Commission. So in front of y'all tonight is the Cornerstone Community Church replat. As a reminder, this development purchased property, 2 parcels to the north, and this plat is just to memorialize the addition of that property and add it to their proposed ownership. This does not relieve them of complying with any additional development requirements as they continue to further develop their property. So we will be reviewing plans, confirming that drainage works for the proposed development, as well as landscaping improvements. Any paving improvements that they are recommending or proposing will still have to be reviewed and approved by the city engineer. Again, this is just a plat for administrative purposes of adding to their existing institutional reserve for the church. And then, as a hard copy in front of y'all is not marked up, clean version of the marked up version that's in y'all's packet. They've addressed all of our comments since then. We have no further objection to the plat that is for consideration tonight.
I did not look back. What were some of the major questions that they had?
I wouldn't say there were a lot of majors. Really, the biggest thing that they had were, and again, it's more administrative than anything, lines outside of the platted subdivision boundary have to be dashed. So that's one comment that we had. And then another one was that they had contours show on their previous submittal, so they removed those as well. Contours, the elevation grades.
Oh, okay.
But again, we work with this surveyor, Jeffrey Moon, other developments within the city, so they know what we're expecting as far as review and approval. So it was a pretty straightforward review.
So if this is, plat is approved, they still have to come back to us for all their variances and.
If they are requesting any, yes.
Yeah, and we can ask about the drainage and the whole.
Yes, sir. At this time, they have not requested any variances, and they haven't also confirmed the entire scope of their development, so they're still mulling that over. We've heard talks and discussions on the addition of a classroom versus an addition of a building. Again, it's still to be determined on what they're proposing, but whatever is being proposed would have to go through the proper channels of review. I know there was concern from the neighboring properties on drainage. That will be one of the bigger things that we're looking at in our future review of this development.
Did they flip it? Because it was gonna be, there was gonna be like a little courtyard out front.
That, again, we've seen a couple of renditions of that, but yeah, as of right now, what's shown on this plat is what's existing.
Because they're gonna add restrooms, I think.
We've heard restrooms, we heard classrooms, we've heard office space. But
Which
again,
would add to water and sewer and.
we wouldn't anticipate a lot of additional usage from that, but it would be an additional connection for the city, correct?
All right.
And this is a motion to pass on, approve to the city council.
Correct. And this would go in front of, if approved tonight, would go in front of city council at their second July.
Is there any additional driveways? Are they gonna still use the main two?
I understand there are no proposed additional driveways. That has not come up in conversation.
And parking, additional parking, or are they?
We'll be looking at that as well. Based on what we know today, they're not compliant.
Right.
And so we'll be making that comment as well. So whether they either request a variance to remain non-conforming or provide additional parking to become conforming based on the proposed additional square footage of the building. It's all kind of in the realm of conversation with them.
And I know that we had asked them to stop clearing, so.
They have stopped.
All right, so if we say yes and move it to city council, they're still stopped until it passes?
So the clearing will not recommence until plans have been approved.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I make a motion to, on the replat for the Cornerstone Community Church, be forwarded on to city council for further review.
I'll second.
Motion and second for the approval of the pre-plat to be passed on to the city council for Cornerstone Church Development Number 2510. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion passes. 5 passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 6, provide refresher training session for planning and zoning commissioners to understand their roles, legal requirements, and development processes. These sessions are formal, informational only, and no official business or case deliberations will occur.
Good evening, commission members. Yeah. We're going to try to restart this refresher training. I know we didn't even kick it off on the first session either. So we'll try and restart this. Right now, I want to make sure that at least we are all up to date with our Open Meetings Act, the classes, that kind of thing. You sat down with the city secretary. Everything should be good.
Yeah, I did mine online, so
Okay.
I think I'm
Yeah,
legal.
that works.
Good.
All right, perfect. Now, I don't know if we need any introductions. I know we have a couple of the newer commission members here. You know who Ms. Diana Titus is. She's the Deputy City Secretary. Of course, she met Brett, City Administrator, or City Engineer here. And if you have any other questions on any other staff that might be joining us or anyone else that comes in here that you're not familiar with, please definitely ask. Let's see here. The training format, you briefly described that. Again, we're not going to talk about any specific cases. I know that you'd really like to use some of the examples, but we can't use any of the examples. So any of your questions, let's try to make it kind of as general as possible, and then we'll respond in that way. And have you all had a chance to take a look at the ordinance for the Planning and Zoning Commission? Yes. I assume self-explanatory, the creation, the purpose of it, the membership, the appointment, the terms of office, how it's organized, the chairperson, the vice chair, and then the duties and powers. I know that there is quite a list of the duties and powers, and as I read through it, every time I read through it, it seems really different, the way that we look at things. So we can go through that at a later training session. You could select which ones might be of, I guess, concern to you, like number 1, where it says, inspect property and premises at reasonable hours where required in the discharge of its responsibilities under state and city laws. We can talk about that maybe with the city attorney, maybe, defining it a little bit more, understanding it. I mean, I would assume that you would understand that the public facilities are public, so of course you're allowed to walk in there, but when it starts getting into the residential locations, I follow the rule under a code enforcement officer that you only view everything from a public right-of-way, and that's about the extent of how far you can go into a private property. But again, we'll look at each one of these items and we'll make sure that the city attorney is present. If you have any specific questions on a specific item, we'll write them down and get the attorney's interpretation of what it says your duties and powers are. We understand the meeting and quorum and any disqualifying votes. Let's see. Again, we're not going to discuss any pending applications or any future applications or any future developments or anything like that, okay? This is completely voluntary. It's just for professional development. And again, I'm going to try and get this going fast. Probably 8 to 10 sessions. It's probably going to take about 8 to 10 months. But if we have a long P&Z agenda, we'll probably roll it over to the next agenda and take a look at how it is. So at the end, you know how we always have that what will be on the, what you're proposing to consider for placement on future agendas, that would be the time to be able to say, yeah, let's go ahead and roll something over. Okay. Do you have any questions right now? Is there anything specific that you would like to jump right off to next month as something that you have all kind of really wanted to know on your roles, responsibilities, what you look at, the depth of what you review? Anything specific? Because otherwise we're just going to go straight into that legal framework and the purpose of the commission. Everyone aware of the zoning ordinance? You're aware that the Uniform Development Ordinance is being drafted? Has anyone perused it? touched it, they've seen it. Okay. I didn't know if at some point you'd like for them to be able to look at it. It is still in draft form. Nothing has been approved. We're still reviewing it. We're still updating it. I didn't know at what
I was doing it today.
So it's still a living document.
So is there a revision right now, revision 1 or 2, or, I mean, how long the document is?
It's about this thick.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Fun reading material for sure.
Yes. I mean, I'd like for you to be able to see it. I don't know if maybe the table of contents at least, so that you know how it's broken out. It isn't just the zoning ordinance, it will include the subdivision ordinance, the floodplain, the sign ordinance. I'm trying to think of what other ordinance.
I would like to at least have
The table, just the table.
the table of contents, that way if there's something that strikes me or concerning, then we can talk about it.
Okay, all right. That way you can take a look at it. I have a printed version, it's up at my desk. I can definitely bring it in here before you all leave, just so you could see how it's formatted. The format is definitely going to be different than the zoning ordinance that we're looking at right now.
We're hoping for adopting this in the very near future. It's a lot to get through. It's a lot with engineers and the attorneys and myself and Tilly. I mean, it's just, back to back. We have to make it function for us. We're different than other cities. You can't just, fit everything in it because we're not the same.
It's a tool that should work for all of us, for the community.
Years of making.
Yeah.
Anything pop out at you all that you'd really like to see? Like I said, otherwise our next session is going to start off with the commission's purpose and the legal framework of the Planning and Zoning Commission.
I don't have anything specific.
Well, one last thing, everyone current with the 2020 comprehensive plan,
Yes.
the design, downtown master plan, and the historic guidelines. Well, you should be pretty familiar with the historic guidelines. But anyone need copies of those documents, I can definitely provide them to you. If they're online, some people are finding difficulty getting to the links because we have the new website. I don't know if you all have had a chance to take a look at it, the new website. So, and if you have any comments on the new website, because there is a Planning and Zoning Commission site, please, bring them in, write it down if you have an update that you'd like on there or feel that there is an incorrect link. You want to make
It's a
sure
work in
that that's-
progress too.
Can you send those to me?
Sure, all of those,
Yeah.
I can definitely
Please,
send
thank
that
you.
to you.
Just for reference, the comprehensive plan that we have from 2020 is probably needing updates as well. And as we go forward, the UDO that we're developing is based on the 2020. But rather than try to go backwards and update the comprehensive plan and then, move forward, we're kind of doing them together. When we find things that we just have to update or need to update, we'll, bring that to council and do all, just to help us get forward. Because if we do it the other way, we're going backwards. And then by the time we get there, there could be changes, there could be stuff that's new. As we're developing so fast, we want to be able to catch things right now. It's just kind of normal with fast growth cities. This is just, I can't say it's comfortable, but it's fairly normal because it's coming so fast. How do you keep up?
It is.
Commissioner Hudson, did you want that electronic or do you want it hard copy?
What is easiest for you?
Either.
Yeah.
Either, okay.
I'll do easy. I'd like that to
The comprehensive plan. Does everyone just want a full set? That way everything's combined? Electronic?
Yes.
Or, okay. Sure. And maybe just to help a little bit too, I'm looking at my notes, I might have some case study in other cities that might help us as we try and apply what our role is for, as planning and zoning commission. Try to use like cities also, because the home rule cities have more, I guess, a larger role. They have a larger say in their decisions.
You can send them some homework before the meeting, so that way they're prepared, you know, they can read the case studies before they show up.
And see how you would interpret it. Yeah, you can probably do that. Good. But there's no cheating though. Because I'm sure it would be online. You'd probably be able to hear their commission ruling and. But yeah, I can do that. So anything else? No? All right. Well, the very next one we'll have our. It'll be session 2, yes. Again, I'm going to try and keep this 30 minutes and we'll see if the city attorney will come in for session 2. He wanted to refrain from coming to this first one because he didn't want to do a deep dive and having to go into a lot of legal aspects before we actually get to that point. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, item number 7, commission inquiry. Pursuant to Texas Government Code, Section 551.042, planning zoning, commission may inquire about the subject not specifically listed in the agenda, and responses limited to presentation of existing policy and statement of specific factual information given with rise to the inquiry. Any deliberation discussion shall be limited to proposed to place on the agenda in the future. Anybody y'all have anything?
Nothing.
I have one question. Maybe this has come with the redevelopment of the all the new ordinances or whatever's going in. The new management at New Laws, how are they, what permit or was there needed a permit to have their, I guess, kitchen now? Is that their kitchen?
The mobile truck trailer in the back there?
Yes.
Well, that's something because of the change of ownership of that property and the temporary nature that a lot of those businesses have at that location. Kind of allowed it because of that temporary nature. It won't stay there very long.
Who allowed it? Who allowed it?
We did here to just allow it.
Who's
here.
that?
Us here.
Just because of the transition?
Yes.
Between
and it's going to be going away.
Okay. I didn't know if since they took the tires off of it now, if there was a new food 'Cause
No, I
know we
didn't know
talked
that the
about
tires were
before
removed
here.
from it.
What's that?
I didn't know that the tires were removed from it. I'll have to take a
What was removed? Maybe they just loaded them with blocks, I don't know. But
I
anyway.
think he did,
I'll take
because
it.
they're actually going in it. I went over there and talked to them. What they asked for was temporary use. Of course, you know that whole block was purchased.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to relocate, they're working on that. They were using that as an extension to the business that was already there.
Yeah.
And so it's really purely temporary.
Yeah.
Not a food truck per se, more just additional kitchen items for what they're doing.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was a situation where, you know, if they were using the restaurant's grease trap and that was just a kitchen for cook, if there was some type of a code that they were able to work around. That was just my question. So.
He said the biggest thing he was using it for is the refrigeration part that's in there. They were keeping in, because they were moving some of the stuff out of that existing building in preparations for having to go somewhere else. So it didn't seem like a stretch or a mobile food unit or anything like that.
So there's not going to be a large controversy when the time comes to move.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Because they could show controversy.
Yeah.
Did they give you an estimated time for temporary?
I don't know.
Well,
Because it depends
some of
on which
that
building.
is October, is what the plan is with some of the other buildings, and
Yes.
moving some of those buildings, so that's kind of the time frame that was given to us.
Okay.
Okay.
It's like the Garrett House, you know.
Yeah, I mean, but it's nice to know.
Yeah.
Is that whole strip center gonna be moved or demolished?
Eventually.
Has he presented options or ideas for that block?
For what he's doing there, I mean, he has a number of ideas. One of the issues is with all downtown areas, parking and what he can do there. Of course, now he's purchased, way further along on 105, so that changes kind of what that looks like. But he's still moving forward with, because we're moving that one house, and so he's still moving forward with whatever his plans are. And I will say they look pretty nice when he showed me at the office. I mean, yeah.
I assume they started making them out today.
Yeah, that's where the Liberty tree is gonna go.
Yeah.
They're gonna put sod on that tomorrow.
Okay.
And then next Wednesday, they'll plant the tree.
Did it go in the center of that mountain?
It will, right on top, right in the center. There'll eventually be a lot of, hardscape around that, gravel and then our wall with the star and all those things. We did this because they wanted to do the dedication for the tree in August, so we got this done.
Okay.
I had to really get after our engineers so we can get this done.
When is the,
We started this in March.
what is the dedication in August?
I can't remember the date. It's the Daughters of the Revolution are coming in, the mayor, and they're gonna do a whole big thing. They're gonna bring I believe it's marble, a plaque that they're having made. It's gonna go there and designated it the Liberty Tree of Montgomery. Right now, we also have, it's not official yet, but we're gonna call that Liberty Park, I believe. If the council approves that name, but it seems fit.
Yeah.
That is good.
We are gonna update the signs, because some of the two signs that are on the north and south lot, with college startups, we are gonna update those. Those are supposed to be done this week, so.
Okay.
If you get a chance to drive by, you look at more of what it looks like. We've got to change a little bit for McGowan Street.
All right. Anything else, y'all? Anything on any future agendas or? No? Okay, move on to number 9.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
A second.
Have a motion and a second for the adjournment of the July 7th, 2026 Planning and Zoning Commission. All in favor say aye. Aye. All in favor say no. Motion passes. Meeting adjourned.